Okay, I'm going to show you how to make a chunky knit blanket. Okay, so first you got to make a slip knot. So you make a little loop. To make your slip knot, you take this part. I just pull it up underneath here. Then I take my little tail and I pull. And then you want this first loop to be about 3 fingers big. So just kind of tug, pull, adjust it until your slip knot looks like this. Then you're going to work with your starting chain. So you're going to take your first slip knot and you're going to just lay it right over your skein. So now we're going to go ahead and do our starting chain. So you got that laying over. You're going to pull it through. And I always like I usually like 3 fingers. That's kind of the tightness that I like. And then once you pull that through, you're going to lay it over. Pull it through. You got about 3 fingers. 3 fingers. And you're just going to keep doing this. And this is your starting chain. Okay. Now, when you get to the length that you want, or to the width that you want, remember a couple things. This will actually end up stretching out and being wider as the tension grows and you make your blanket. But let's pretend I wanted to make a small little blanket here. So I pull my last loop through, and then I'm going to be working going up. Okay, so I got my chain here, and instead of folding and keeping going this way, I now want to move my yarn and go up. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do a second one. And then what we're going to do is all these little holes here at the top on these chains. See that? You see the little holes going across? This is where we're going to actually start coming underneath and pulling through those holes. And we're going to do the 3 fingers. Pull. And honestly, at first when you're making this, the first rows, you're like, what am I making? You know, not even sure if you're doing it right. So anyways, okay, so let's keep going, because it doesn't look like a blanket, right? This is like the weirdest part. Okay, doing those 3 fingers. Three fingers. Okay, I got my one. So I got to the very end, but I can't go this way anymore, so I got to go up. One. And then now I got these nice loops to work with. Give yourself some slack in your yarn. And you're just going to pull through. And you're just going to do this over and over. And you just, yeah, that's it. And then as you get to the end here, again, remember there's nowhere to go. So you're gonna do that second loop, and then you can bring your skein over. And hopefully this makes sense. And then when you want to tie, let's say this is the size of our blanket we want. When you get to the very end and you need to do your ending braid at the very end of your blanket, if this was the last row, what you're going to do is, okay, so we have our loops going all the way across. You're going to actually go 1, 2, okay, and you're going to stop. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this second one here, the second loop here. These are all down a row. These are the 2 that are up. You're going to punch it through this end one, and you're going to stretch it all the way over and over, place it over it, and then this little tail you're going to bring up through. You're going to bring over, pull this up through, over, pull this up through, over, pull it up through, over, until you get off over to the end. Now, when you get to the end, I just love this braid. When you get to the end, and I don't have scissors on me right now for this demonstration, but basically you'll cut this, make a tail, and then you'll kind of tie this off real tight. And then I like to put any little end, I will kind of fold through here, and then I'll on the end I'll get a lighter, get a little flame going, and then singe it in. And actually that is how you will connect skeins. So I should probably send a video on that as well. So there you go.